They say evil wears many faces. But what if one of them smiled at you across a college campus, or held the door open as you entered your car? In 1970s America, that face belonged to a man with a charming grin, a clean-cut appearance, and a mind twisted beyond comprehension. His name was Ted Bundy. Bundy wasn't a shadowy figure lurking in dark alleys. He was the man next door, intelligent, polite, and oddly magnetic. Women trusted him. Men liked him. But beneath that mask was a predator who stalked, hunted, and destroyed with terrifying calculation. And his weapon of choice? Not a gun. Not a knife. But charisma. Born in 1946, Ted Bundy grew up believing his mother was his sister and his grandparents were his parents. That lie unraveled early, and some say it cracked something in him, though Bundy always claimed he was just fine. He studied psychology, volunteered at suicide hotlines, even dated women who would later describe him as gentle, considerate, even shy. All the while, his private fantasies grew darker, fixations on control, on violence, on complete domination. The first known victim was Linda Ann Healy, a University of Washington student who vanished from her bedroom in 1974. Her bed was neatly made, blood on the pillow hidden under the blankets. Her clothes were missing. So were her shoes. Police found almost nothing. Then another woman disappeared. Then another. And another. Blonde. Parted hair. College-aged. Bundy had a type, and he stuck to it with a serial killer's precision. He lured women with a fake cast, pretending to struggle with books or need help loading something into his Volkswagen Beetle. His victims offered kindness. He offered death. What most don't know is that Bundy took trophies. Sometimes he revisited the bodies, applied makeup to corpses, spoke to them as if they were still alive. He once admitted decapitating 12 of his victims and keeping their heads. It wasn't murder for him, it was possession. Complete, soul-erasing possession. When police finally closed in, Bundy did what most serial killers don't, he ran. In 1975, he was arrested in Utah for evading police and found with suspicious items in his car, ski mask, handcuffs, rope. But they had no idea who they were dealing with. He was convicted on a kidnapping charge. While awaiting trial, Bundy acted as his own lawyer, and during a court break, leapt from a second-story library window and disappeared for 6 days. That wasn't his only escape. In 1977, after being transferred to a more secure jail, he sawed a hole in the ceiling of his cell and vanished again, this time for good. While on the run, Bundy made his way to Florida, where he committed the most horrific crimes of his spree, the Chi Omega sorority house attack at Florida State University. Within just 15 minutes, he bludgeoned and strangled 2 women to death and severely injured 2 more. Hours later, he assaulted another woman just blocks away. He was arrested shortly after while driving a stolen car. This time, there was no escape. Bundy's trial was one of the first televised in U.S. history, and women across the country wrote love letters to him, convinced of his innocence, or seduced by his charm. Even as witnesses identified him. Even as damning evidence stacked up. Even as he smiled in court while the details of murder were read aloud. He proposed to his girlfriend in the courtroom, during testimony, using a bizarre Florida law that allowed it to count as a legal marriage. The audacity was breathtaking. But so was the horror. In 1989, Ted Bundy was executed in the electric chair at Florida State Prison. He confessed to over 30 murders before he died, but experts believe the number is far higher. Ted Bundy wasn't a monster from legend. He was real. And perhaps that's the most terrifying thing of all. Evil doesn't always look like evil. Sometimes, it smiles at you. Holds the door. Wears a suit. Sometimes, it whispers your name, and you follow.